but I'm gonna tell you guys what all that spiritual shit actually looks like when it's translated to action. So first I want to start by talking about belief systems. Basically, what we think of beliefs are something that's passed on to you and that you adopt, and you don't really have a say in the matter, because when you grow up, that's just what happens. And then you get grown and you have all these ideas and thoughts and beliefs that don't align with what you really truly think on a soul level. It doesn't align with who you really are on a soul level. And so that disharmony manifests as, depression, anxiety. It manifests itself so that you can do the work and realize you're following all these beliefs unconsciously, and it's not guiding you from a place of love. It's just guiding you a place from conditioned thinking. So first thing that you should know is that a belief is nothing more than a practiced thought. A thought that you tell yourself, you affirm to yourself until there reaches the point when you actually believe it in your heart and in your soul. People probably look at me like, she overthinks shit, she, overanalyzes, she sees too much into things, People probably have a lot of thoughts about how I operate, how I think. But here's the thing. This is not my belief system because it's cute or it's a trend. This is my belief system because this is what keeps me alive. This is what helps me survive, what helps me feel like I belong here, what helps me make sense of this fucked up world. It helps me make sense of myself. If I went through life believing this is all there is, the physicality, the physical realm, if I thought this was all there is, I would be gone a long time ago, because it's not enough for me. It feels very mundane, it feels very meaningless, and if I didn't believe in, angels and God and, spirit, if I didn't believe that I had help, if I didn't believe in magic, if I didn't believe that I have control, then I would have no desire to live. So it's okay if you don't believe. It's okay if people don't believe in what you believe in, and vice versa, but let people believe what they want to. Let people believe what helps get them through. I want to believe in magic. I want to believe in beauty. I want to see the God in everything. I want to see the signs everywhere. My beliefs were not always like this. I didn't always believe in myself. I didn't always believe in the power of love. I didn't believe that you have control over your life. I've realized personally that if I want to stay happy, if I want to keep my vibration high, if I want to, stay rooted in my purpose of being here, I have to either find or create meaning in each moment. Big, small, doesn't matter. Each moment, it has to mean something to me. And so that's why I do see signs everywhere. I do think everything is a lesson. I see everything as, a guiding tool. I have to train myself how to see the divinity in the mundane things and the really big things. Because if not, I just float away. Like, that's just how I stay grounded. Some people stay grounded by doing worldly things, by, participating in the matrix or whatever, but the way I stay grounded, I have to fucking stay rooted to my spirit and my soul. Let me let that shit pass. So when you're recreating your belief system, here's what it's gonna look like. Anytime that you feel triggered or you feel, that heaviness, anytime you feel a physical sensation in your body that's not comfortable, go deeper into the feeling. 9 times out of 10, the way you feel isn't really how you feel. So when you feel some way, ask yourself, am I really lonely or am I just bored? You know what I mean? Am I really guilty or am I just not doing my best? Figure out how you really feel after you've realized this is a belief system that's playing itself out in my life unconsciously through me. And so just by you becoming aware of that, you're already doing the first step to alchemizing it. Sit with it. Let it be. Yes, this is just my old belief system, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So once you realize this doesn't work for me anymore, I don't align with this, I don't resonate with this, you're going to replace it with the thought that you do align with, that you do resonate with. Your root feeling may be, I'm antisocial, it's hard for me to connect. Your replacement belief would be, I'm introverted and there are energetic boundaries that I have that I need to attend to. And then it's going to look like a lot of affirmations, affirming that shit to yourself constantly. Reaffirm to yourself what's real. Reaffirm to yourself what matters. When you're triggered, don't just let yourself be triggered. That's your opportunity to find the belief that's causing you pain, that you're trying to live up to, but it just doesn't align with you anymore. But for me, this is a literal, it has to be a consistent process, because it's so easy for me to lose myself, and I've learned that I can lose myself in 2 minutes of not being in the moment. And these conditioned thoughts just rise up. When you lose yourself, they just rise up, and they'll tell you you're not doing enough, and this life is pointless. All the old thoughts that aren't true, but you still feel physically, it's because there are remnants. There are still remnants of that inside of you, and so they need to be cleared. That's where allowing them to be comes from, observing them. That's where you let them be cleared, and then they're then alchemized when you replace them with the belief that you do believe in. I just want you guys to really understand the power of perception. Perception shapes everything. Your perception, your beliefs, and your intent, which are all are one and the same, but if you even just look at something differently, it changes how it appears to you. You can choose how you see things. If you want something to be easy, you tell yourself that shit is simple, And another thing that people don't understand is that it's 2018 right now. We're going through a lot of things energetically, but a big thing that you need to realize is there's no one way to do shit anymore. There's no blueprint on life anymore. There used to be, and we used to follow that shit, go to school and get a job and, go to college, graduate, work your whole life away, blah, blah, blah. And we're used to all these roles, when you're a student, you do this, when you're an employee, you do this, and it's really all just masks. That shit is shedding, and that's why it feels like everything's falling apart, because old structures have to break down in order to build new ones. If you feel chaotic inside, if you feel like you're straddling back and forth between your higher self and your lower self, you're just clearing the old remnants of your old conditioned mind pattern. Everything feels like it's falling apart because it has to, and it is. But in that chaos is divine order. If everything feels fake to you, you have to view it different. You have to choose to perceive it differently. So I'm thinking, damn, this shit sucks. Everything feels fake. Everything just feels so I have to work this job and put on this uniform, and I had to really change how I viewed work. I have to work right now. That's just what it is. And so if I'm going to go to work and I'm going to play this role, I'm going to play the shit out of it. I had to change the way I think of jobs, because if you want to change your life, you have to change the way you think about shit. We're given an imagination for a reason. Now, a job is just somewhere I go during the day to pass the time, and I get to get paid for it. Whatever you have to do, commit to it. If you have to change the way you completely think about it to do it, then change the way you completely think about it to do it. When it comes to really creating your life, it's really easy to be too passive, to think you're subject to the will of the universe, you're subject to the happenings. You're in the middle and things just happen around you and they trigger you, and how you feel depends on the things that happen to you. This year, that was the biggest lesson for me ever. There's a difference between going through the flow and living passively. Going through the flow is, having intentions and holding them in your mind, but letting God finish the work, fill in the blanks, do it how he sees fit, let the universe, take over and work through you. Living passively is letting people in your life, having no discernment or judgment when it comes to people's energy, just letting other people's will be stronger than yours, not consciously creating your life. And if I'm not consciously, consistently on my shit, I lose myself really fast. I will lose myself in the thoughts that tell me that this means nothing. I will lose myself in the thoughts that tell me it's not in my control. But just as fast as I am lost, it's just as easily as I can stay on top of it when I'm conscious. When you send a thought into the universe as if you already have something or an intention, that's the language that the universe speaks, is intention. Affirmations are things that you have to know deep in your soul, and each time you read them out loud, sit with them for a minute. Yeah, that's fucking true. I'm a badass bitch. Yeah, I am financially free. I am divinely guided. I am, infinitely abundant in all the ways. and sit with them. Remind yourself over and over and over. When you're recreating your belief system and starting to take control of your life, it takes constant effort. Every time you start to feel yourself being dragged, every time you feel your vibration lowering or feel yourself in an old mindset, that's your opportunity to practice, like, yes, I am free. I am not trapped. I do not have to go to work. Money does not affect me. I am free. These feelings are things that you honestly, truly feel. But just because you feel them doesn't mean that you believe them. You only feel them because this is what you've believed your whole life. And so it's conditioned thought, and it's also a conditioned feeling. So when you change your belief system, fine tune it. Really, you're ultimately giving all your power to your beliefs and your thoughts. So what beliefs give you power? What beliefs empower you, and what beliefs limit you? Staying in the now moment is imperative, because when you do, you're manifesting from a place of inner stability and groundedness. And it's easy to manifest, honestly, but like when your head is in the clouds and you're not rooted, your like thoughts are in a million different places, it's gonna be so fucking easy to self-sabotage, because your thoughts are wandering. There's only a matter of time before they're gonna go back into the low state of mind. Create your belief system based on a place of love. Do everything you do from a place of love. Stop letting fear run you. You can tell the difference between a fear-based thought and a love-based thought. If you start to get anxious thinking about something, or if you're like, oh, I need to get up and do this, because you start to feel like, you know, you're diminished as a person because you're not doing enough, or, you know, you're not worthy of love or of peace or relaxation just because you're not physically doing, then that's a fear base. That shit is pushing you from fear of not being good enough. Do everything from a place of love. Don't do anything because you feel like you have to. Stay open. When you're out everywhere, see the abundance everywhere. See the abundance of colors, the abundance of people, the abundance of, you know, of joy, expression, creativity. See abundance everywhere if you want abundance in your life. You have to change how you see the world so that you can change how you feel about it. If you don't feel so good about life, you have to change how you see it. And it's not easy, but it's literally just that. It's just conscious, you know, effort towards reprogramming what you think. Like I said, there's no rules in this life anymore. What works for one person will not work for you, and vice versa. Everything is so possible right now. Like I said, there's no blueprint for life anymore. Sure there is, but I'm not following that shit anymore. And so that's why it feels scary and sometimes feel like a void within yourself, because we're used to doing things based on, you know, exterior expectations. We're used to doing things based on that's just what you do. And when you're not used to doing things out of love, when you're not used to doing things out of a place of authenticity and, you know, from a place within yourself, from in your heart, it can seem like a void. It can seem like, you know, all-encompassing nothingness, but that void is not a void. It's just space, and it feels heavy because that's how you're looking at it. You're seeing it as something that's consuming you and you're falling into it. But really, if you just breathe through it, that space turns into the realm of all possibility. It basically all has to do with ego, and you can start observing your egoic thoughts and your true belief system. Observe your ego. See when your ego is at work, and don't look at your ego as something that's trying to hurt you or cause you pain or cause you difficulty. Your ego is there for you to grow. Your ego is there for you to learn, to discern between something that you really believe and something that you're conditioned to believe. And this is the ultimate opportunity for growth. So you just have to be blessed no matter what you're feeling right now. And I hope that this makes sense. I've been trying to do this video for so long and it never really came together. I think it's decent though. If you guys have any questions, please hit me up. Like, I just love reading your comments that say that I changed how you think about something or just anything. It's hard for me to make videos sometimes because I feel like I'm just saying shit that everyone knows, but I'm not, obviously. It's just things that I think about a lot, so I feel like that. But understand how malleable everything really is, especially at this time. It's a new year and the new energy is so clear. The clarity is on point. I challenge you to start creating your life from a place within yourself. Start consciously, you know, changing the way you look at things, and stop letting yourself just be unsatisfied. You know, stop getting your hopes up and then something happens and, you know, you're left with a hole or an empty feeling. It's now your opportunity. It's now your job to fill that hole. It's your responsibility to fill that to satisfy yourself. It's not okay to just let things happen to you and just feel bad. It's all in your control. Trust me, if I can do it, you can fucking do it. If you want me to do more videos on this or whatever, if you just want to talk, I put all my social media down below and leave comments and stuff. So hit me up. Hope you enjoyed it.